Sister wives Mykelti Brown shares taste of placenta with Kody. A new clip released by TLC shows Mykelti Brown, Padron, talking with her dad and his wife, Robin Brown, about eating her placenta postpartum. Other members of the sister wives family shared their thoughts on the practice, with one even gagging at the thought. Here is what they all had to say. Mykelti Brown recommends eating your placenta to new moms. In a video shared on Instagram, Mykelti Padron was sitting down with Robin and Kody Brown. As the grandparents visited with Mykelti's twins, she spoke about her postpartum recovery and shared her thoughts on eating the placenta. "I don't have any depression. I'm doing great," she says in the clip. "I'm eating my placenta. It's lovely." Robin responds, affirming that eating the placenta post-birth helps like crazy with things like postpartum depression and other health issues. "I highly recommend every woman just eat your placenta," Mykelti declares. A separate confessional shows Mykelti detailing more benefits of eating your placenta on Sister Wives. In addition to helping with postpartum depression and other issues post-birth, it can potentially increase your breast milk supply, reduce insomnia, prevent anemia, boost your immune system, reduce postpartum bleeding and pain, as well as help you bond with your baby. "It was incredible," Mykelti tells Sister Wives producers. "I think it really helped my postpartum with Avalon. It really helped through my recovery. So I was like, I'm going to do it again with my boys. And so far, it's helped a lot." The clip then goes back to the living room where Mykelti, Tony, Robin, and Kody are visiting with each other. Kody, seemingly curious, asks Mykelti if she did it last time, and she replies, "Oh yeah." Sister Wives stars react to the idea of eating placenta. She went on to detail how she actually ate a chunk of her placenta directly after giving birth to Avalon to help with her postpartum bleeding. "I just took a bite out of it," she says. Smiling, she informs her dad that it doesn't have a taste. "It's not like carne asada," she says, and her husband Tony Padron pipes up and says, "But it looks like carne asada," which gets a chuckle out of the room. Another confessional shows Mykelti talking about how she ate a chunk of the placenta raw and then another chunk of it was turned into a smoothie. Her husband stuck out his tongue, pretending to gag, and laughed. Then a photo of the placenta with a bit taken out of was shown on the screen. Some of the other sister wives' moms weighed in on the idea of eating the placenta. Mary Brown visibly gagged. "The whole placenta thing, no," she said, trying to hold back her disgust. "I've heard people say that it's like super healthy. I'm disgusted by it. It's really gross." "No." Cristin Brown offered up her thoughts as well. She said, "My first instinct was that is disgusting. But it's what all mammals do. I wish so badly that I would have known about eating your placenta. I would have done it in a heartbeat." Then Robin Brown said, "Well, I'm gonna shock y'all. I was the first one to do it." She said that her midwife suggested it to her and she thought she'd try it. Robin went on to say that she had postpartum depression with one of her kids and expressed how scary it was. If eating the placenta could potentially keep PPD at bay, she was willing to give it a try. The room buzzed with excitement as the Brown family gathered in Mykelti's cozy living room. The air was thick with anticipation and the scent of fresh herbs and home-cooked meals. But tonight wasn't just about food or family or even their shared journey. Tonight was something different, something extraordinary. Mykelti had a surprise and Kody was at the center of it. The usual chaos of the family felt muted tonight. The kids played quietly in the corner, their laughter softer, more distant, like background music. The wives sat around the large oak dining table, exchanging curious glances. Cristin, Mykelti's mother, had a knowing smile, one that danced on the edge of mystery. Janelle looked intrigued, her ever-logical mind calculating what this surprise could be. Robin and Mary, the more reserved of the wives, exchanged brief looks, a mixture of apprehension and amusement passing between them. Kody, ever the showman, stood in the middle of the room, looking both eager and slightly apprehensive. His long curls fell loosely around his face, and his usual confident grin wavered ever so slightly. "So, what's this all about?" Kody asked, his voice filled with his usual bravado, though there was an undertone of uncertainty that the family had rarely heard before. Mykelti stood, her presence commanding the room. She had always been one to march to the beat of her own drum, a free spirit in the sometimes rigid world of polygamy. But tonight she seemed especially emboldened. "I've got something special to share with all of you," she said, her voice clear, calm. "Especially you, Dad." Kody raised an eyebrow, his curiosity piqued. "With me?" Mykelti nodded and gestured toward a small silver tray covered with a cloth that sat on the counter. "You've always supported me, even when things got tough. You were there for me when Tony and I had Avalon, and I wanted to share something from that experience." At the mention of Avalon's birth, Christine's eyes softened with maternal pride, and the rest of the wives shifted in their seats, their curiosity growing more intense. "And what's on the tray?" Janelle asked, her voice filled with a gentle sense of humor, trying to lighten the tension that had started to build. Mykelti hesitated for a moment, glancing toward her husband, Tony, who gave her an encouraging nod. She took a deep breath before revealing the contents beneath the cloth. There, nestled on the tray, was a small, neatly prepared dish, dark, rich, and unlike anything the family had ever seen at a dinner table. It took a moment for everyone to realize what they were looking at, but when it clicked, the reaction was immediate. "Placenta." Janelle's eyes widened, and Robin gasped softly, her hand instinctively moving to cover her mouth. Mary, ever the stoic, leaned back slightly in her chair, her expression unreadable. Cristin, though slightly startled, couldn't help but chuckle, shaking her head at the surprise. But it was Kody's reaction that everyone waited for. He stared at the dish, his face a mix of confusion, awe, and was that excitement. Mykelti broke the silence. "It's a tradition in some cultures to consume the placenta after childbirth. It's supposed to be really healthy, full of nutrients and everything. So I thought I'd give it a try, and I wanted you to be part of it, Dad. You've always been open to new experiences." Kody blinked, clearly processing what she had just said. He opened his mouth, then closed it, as if struggling to find the right words. He looked around the room, perhaps searching for support from his wives. But they were just as bewildered as he was, though their reactions varied. Janelle looked intrigued, as if weighing the scientific merits of the practice. Robin appeared torn between curiosity and discomfort. Mary's expression was still unreadable, while Christine's amusement was growing by the second. Kody finally spoke, his voice low and uncertain. You want me to eat it?" Mykelti nodded confidently. "Just a small piece. It's symbolic, really. A way to connect with the experience of childbirth. Avalon's birth was such a huge moment for me, and you've always been there, supporting me. I wanted to share this with you." Kody's eyes flickered between the small dish and his daughter's hopeful expression. It wasn't often that Kody found himself speechless, but here he was, caught between his adventurous nature and the strangeness of the moment. "All right," he said slowly, a cautious grin spreading across his face. "Let's do it." The room collectively held its breath as Mykelti carefully sliced a small portion of the placenta, placing it delicately on a small plate. She handed it to Kody, her eyes gleaming with pride.